All right, what up YouTube? Today got a mid 90s pair. As you can tell from the box, that dark gray, the kind of really orangish, almost reddish upper part of the box. I think actually in the video it's coming in as pretty orange, but in person it's more of like a, almost like a red almost. But these are the Air Diamond Turf, black, white, metallic gold, black orchid. Made in Korea, size 12. Original JC Penney sticker on there, which is kind of cool. $110 was the retail price, which was pretty expensive. That would be, these came out, I believe in 94, so that would probably be, you know, definitely north of 200. And then bottom of the box. So yeah, these are not a, you know, crazy sought after pair, especially this color. The white, black, red colorways is a little more, you know, wanted, collected. These are a little more plain, but they have some kind of some sentimental value to me. They are in dead stock condition, but the age definitely shows because you got Durabuck, which is, you know, doesn't hold up super well over time. But yeah, so it's kind of what the shoe looks like. Very, very chunky looking shoe. Diamond Turf. Yeah, so the whole shoe is mainly a black shoe with accents of metallic gold, and then the purple, the orchid. Yeah, this purple was hot around this time, kind of the mid 90s, like 93, 94, 95, 96. Nike also used Concord. Concord, the purple in a lot of their pairs. This this orchid color is a little different. Looks a little darker, but definitely, yeah, very mid 90s style. And then you have the cross trainer logo there that Nike was using for a long time. They were really putting that on a lot of their pairs, and you almost like never see it anymore. But as chunky as the shoe looks, it's still like, this is, you know, a top of the line athletic shoe back then. So it actually fits very snug. Like, it's, you know, that classic Nike narrow athletic performance fit. Doesn't feel chunky on your feet. You know, nowadays the retros, you know, they are really bulky. These were still the athletic fit, but yeah, so looking at the shoe, classic Nike size up there. And then you also, you know, this was just easier to see when looking at it. You didn't have to like search for down here into the tag, but yeah, you never see that anymore. But yeah, the Durabuck, you can kind of get a close up on that. It's definitely like dried out. Durabuck, the sentimental value is I had these as a kid. This exact colorway, exact pair, definitely would have been a pair that hit the outlets. My mom only shopped at the outlet, the old Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard outlet here in Portland. It was just a, up until I think they built the new one in like 1999, 2000. It was before that, it was just this tiny little one-story storefront first Nike outlet actually ever to exist. I think it was built in like '84, but yeah, you'd walk in, it was just like a single story storefront, and then you'd walk in, and then it had these like, you know, the different sections, very small, and then they had these like TVs, old school TVs in every kind of on high up near the ceiling, and they you know, I think some of that kind of old 80s 90s like metal fencing or cage, kind of looks like a maybe like an urban playground style. But yeah, that's where she got my shoes, so these probably were picked up there. But yeah, I remember. So back on track, the Durbuck used, so this feels like dried out. You know, you probably can't tell from just looking at the video, but it's you know, it's kind of like harder, a little rougher. Some areas aren't as bad. This is like pretty rough. This is a little more like what it used to feel like. It was a very like almost stretchy material, very durable but soft at the same time, almost like a, not like a spandexy feeling, but kind of like that kind of stretchy feeling to it. So it was just that type of material that, you know, you could really beat the shoes up and it wouldn't like tear or anything, but then it would also really, you know, wrap your foot. And very soft, very flexible. You know, these have paper inside of them, but when you push on it, you know, it would completely, you know, move about, and not the stiff stuff they use nowadays. But yeah, so Durbuck all around the upper, pretty much the whole upper is Durbuck. You do have some nylon up here for the tongue, and then of course, you know, Durbuck here, but then rubber here, and then the whole midsole, it's all intact. It's not polyurethane. It's just like a foam piece here, and then here is rubber. And I always remember, just as a kid, just always feeling this Nike was always like so soft. It was like a very soft rubber, and then this is like more like kind of texturized, and then the sole, you have the grip rubber, and the sole is definitely kind of dried a little bit over the years, but pretty cool. I love that Nike, how it like wraps. You know, the old molds they use were just better, and these, you know, they have that kind of downward slope. The sole sits flat. There's not like this like curl upward that you get nowadays on the, you know, the cheap kind of expendable replica releases that they do. But yeah, huge Velcro over strap, and then that brings you down to this kind of basic. That early 90s, mid 90s, they were doing these like, you know, over strap things to secure the foot, Jordan 8s. And then this used to be like really soft rubber. You can see how it's dried out, like it's kind of curling up. But it says Diamond Turf 24, 21. I believe it's Deion Sanders. He was always rocking these shoes. And yeah, just so much detail, you know, like double stitched, you know, here, but then they've even like gone so far to do a different material like down here, and then they've cut this out and given this kind of metallic gold netting just to make the shoe a little lighter, take some of that weight off from the strap. More just all Durbuck there. And then the whole tongue is nylon, but like a soft nylon, like really nice and still soft. And then inside, you got a nice Nike Air in there. Not sure if you can see there. Yeah, The Nike Air inside there is what color is that? Looks like it's white, and then the tongue. So May 7th, 1993. So these actually might have came out at the end of 93. And then even the tongue, or even the strap, little Nike Air there. So the detail Nike used to have in their shoes was second to none. You know, they're really innovating back then, and they just put, you know, a ton of quality in their shoes, and you know the price tag showed it. You know, they were expensive. People didn't buy, you know, a bunch of shoes and have big collections of shoes back then. You know, they might have some people did, but a lot of people, you know, Nikes were so expensive. Only if you were fortunate to have money, you could be able to buy a bunch. But a lot of people, you know, you'd get one. And like getting a new pair of shoes was like a big deal. You get a new pair of shoes, and it was something you wore them to do everything. You know, until they were you know, too beat up. You know, $200 and some with inflation. So yeah, for what they are, they were you know, top of the line technology, but pretty expensive. The gold, nice Nike Air back there, and the layers are, you know, pretty cool. There's just the back, this, you know, the design was top of the line back then. But yeah, so the Durbuck, what happens is, you know, it dries out and then it cracks and kind of peels off, as you can see there, just from, you know, in time. I'm sure these were like, you know, rubbed off eventually, and just how they're being stored and whatnot. But so these ones aren't stuffed in here, but you can see just very flimsy, you know, very flexible. So as far as wearability, they look wearable. You know, there's no cracking stuff, but the big telltale sign that they're probably not going to hold up is they feel super light. They feel lighter than they should, and that's because inside the air unit is dried up and, you know, crumbling. You can even hear it. So yeah, you can't see it, but the encased air unit inside here, if you took apart the sole, it would, you know, you'd have a bunch of crumbles in there and stuff. But I mean, yeah, you could do a sole swap. Maybe it'd be pretty hard. I guess maybe not. You could detach the rubber and then fill it in there. But you know, eventually the Durbuck up here would be drying out, like cracking like that. So yeah, the Nike Air Diamond Turf, 1993 or 94. I always thought 94, but maybe it's 93. Must be 93 if they were made in March. There's like a little hole there. It's interesting. Not somebody's sure if somebody's stuck in a tack, but yeah, so the foam, very soft. Push in even more foam up here. Kind of cool. All right, well, thank you for checking out the vid. Hope you like the kicks. Posting more kicks soon, so check those out, and hope you guys have a nice day.